before you know it.
1-1. Hindu walked and scored in the second inning. Ball 2. Fernandez, remember, was 4th in the National League in strikeouts. He was tied with Dwight Gooden. High fly ball into shallow left center. Mookie says he'll have it. 2 down.
And now the shortstop, Spike Owen.
Here's what Fernandez looks like with that motion. You can see him really bearing down on the target. Looks away a little bit, and then he really takes a big stride and comes down. Looks like he releases the ball and then finishes, which has to be deceptive. It's a tricky motion.
He can be a remarkable pitcher. His high 14 strikeouts in a game. He has retired 6 in a row. A foul, out of play.
And Vinny's not trying to do it with trick pitches. He's just rearing back and firing.
0-1 to count to Spike Owen, who popped to short and flied to right. 2 out in the 6th. Boston 3, New York nothing. One and 1. Bruce Hurst out on deck. Back 1 and 2.
It has to be habit, but Carter checks everybody that comes up there. I doubt if Spike Owen would be trying to sneak a peek.
Crowd making the kind of noise it normally makes for Dwight Gooden. They want another strikeout. Off-speed curveball, got him looking. 4 strikeouts and 7 in a row.
We talked about Hurst and his ability to control that strike zone, the location. Watch what he does to Mitchell when he strikes him out. Just pay attention to where the pitches are. This is a fastball. He fouls it off. Fastball low, fouls it off. Breaking ball in the same spot, strikes him out. It looked like the fastball. Last minute she darts in, and although he had a good cut, didn't come close to hitting it.
If you wonder about the Mets in the bottom of the 6th inning, they are going for the pinch hitter. Lee Mazzilli is on deck to bat for Sid Fernandez. And Roger McDowell is in the bullpen. Strike 1 to Rafael Santana. Of course, it was Mazzilli who appeared as the pinch hitter in the 8th inning Saturday night and scored a run that tied up the game. 1-1. Santana struck out in the 3rd inning, and there's Roger McDowell along with Vern Hochheit. Fastball, and it's hit up the middle behind the bag, and here comes Spike Owen to get him.
It looked like the ball was going to get through. Here it is from the center field camera. It's over the head of Hurst. And range is what makes this play on. Finishes up on the second base side and gets his man easily.
Buckner again coming to the mound now with Mazzilli up there. Hurst, by the way, is on a roll now. He has retired 11 in a row. The only time he has had to work out of his stretch was with 2 out in the 2nd inning, and Ray Knight had gotten a base hit. Ball 1. So Sid Fernandez worked 2 1/3 innings, and he gave the ball club a big lift from the mound by striking out 4 and retiring 7 in a row. And now Mazzilli batting for him. 1-0. Mookie Wilson on deck. Ball 2.
And Mazzilli, by faking the bunt, it looked like he was going to try to push it past the pitcher. At least drew Marty Baird in a couple steps at second base.
Strike. 2-1 to Lee. And it's hit over Buckner's head, foul down the line, and the count 2-2. Once again, we remind our viewers we'll be selecting the NBC Miller Lite Player of the Game at the conclusion of this ball game. And that brings up another interesting note. Thinking that Saturday night would be the conclusion of the series, Bruce Hurst was already named the World Series Most Valuable Player. However, the Mets pulled off the miracle. Because of the rain, Hurst got another chance to pitch. And now he's really working for the award, just as they're working on that right field fence. 2-2. 1 out, 6th inning, 3-0 Boston. And it's hit to the hole, base hit for Mazzilli. Successfully Saturday night as a pinch hitter and ignite his ball club. And Mookie Wilson, the batter.
Looked like a breaking ball. He was just trying to get a piece of it, and Mazzilli put it between the shortstop and third baseman, and he's on.
And John McNamara knows that Hurst has only allowed 2 hits, so he's not showing any concern. Wilson has gone the other way twice, grounded to Barrett and flied to right. They are not holding Mazzilli. Buckner is back of him, and now he has to run in front, consequently the collision. Now
you see Buckner sneaking behind him, and Mazzilli just kind of bumps him. Not a bad play.
Line drive into left field, base hit. And the Mets are alive with 1 out in the 6th, and Tim Tuffle coming up. Mazzilli at second, Wilson at first. 1 out in the 6th. Steve Crawford in the bullpen. 3-0 Boston. Tuffle has popped up to Barrett and struck out. Ball 1. On deck, Keith Hernandez. After retiring 11 in a row, Hurst gives up a single to pinch hitter Mazzilli and then to Mookie Wilson. Ball 2, a throw to first. He's in there. And barely. And Mookie might be a little hurt. His right arm. I think Buckner's knee got him as he was reaching for the bag. And evidently he's okay.
Gedman and Albie there play. He sidearms it, and Mookie just does get there. There you see the knee getting that right arm as Buckner was trying to block the base.
2 balls and no strikes to Tim Tuffle. Two and 1.
Took something off the pitch, way out in front.
Wilson at first, Mazzilli at second, 1 out. Hernandez on deck.
go out and talk to Hurst. If nothing else, to break the mood, somebody come in and just ask him how everything is.
Johnny Mac.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it.
It's time for the boss to make the visit. Keith Hernandez has lined out to center and flied deep to right. He'll be the hitter. And Steve Crawford waiting in the bullpen. The bases are loaded, and I think they were talking about whether Hurst should pitch out of a stretch.
That's what he said, out of the stretch, all right. And they were just going over if the balls hit back to him to go to Gedman, but he was asking if it was all right to pitch off the stretch.
So here is Keith Hernandez. Bases loaded, 1 out in the 6th. 3-0 Boston. Mazzilli at third. Wilson at second. Tuffle at first. 1 out. And on deck, Gary Carter. And Hurst will pitch from the stretch. Big overhand slow curveball.
Oh, what a pitch that was. Everybody expecting strength against strength, and he pulled the string on that one.
0-1. Outfield straight away. Fastball hitting the left center field. Base hit. In comes Mazzilli. In comes Wilson. Stopping at third is Tuffle. 3-2 Boston. We're going to have a runner for Tim Tuffle. It's Wally Backman at third. So there's Wally Backman running for Tuffle. Hernandez at first, and Gary Carter with the tying run 90 feet away. Hit in the air to right field. Here comes Evans. It's gonna be caught. No, he didn't hold it. The run is in. However, Hernandez is tagged out by Spike Owen. Evans making a diving, smothering attempt, and we had to wait till Dale Ford indicated catch, and then no catch, and that's why Hernandez is hollering, "Why didn't you call it?"
It looked like he had it. It was a delayed call. He had it in the glove. You see it pop out. And as he turns, he sees that Hernandez is still at first base, and Keith really upset. And now Kibler explaining to him that he called it as soon as he can, but Hernandez is not buying it.
But he gets the hero greeting for driving into 2 runs and setting up the tying run to score. It is 3-3 in this madhouse called Shea, and the batter is Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry 0 for 2, fly to left and fly deep to right center. Carter on a fielder's choice if you're scoring from Evans to Owen. 9 6.
You can see Carter saying, go on, the ball's on the ground, but it's too late.
Slicing fly ball to left. Rice coming up and makes the catch. Holding on to the slicer at the last second. But the Mets get 3 hits and 3 runs. And at the end of 6, a 3-3 tie. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Who scored the tying run, a good piece of base running. You see him tagging up as soon as Evans leaves his feet. Backman's going in, so Evans' only play really is to second base. Barrett helping direct the play. Owen is there to make the tag, and Hernandez really upset because of the late call.
And if you would like to know about lightning striking twice, Pete Hernandez had a 2-run single in Game 7 in the 1982 World Series to tie the game 3-3. Tonight, he drove in 2 and set up the tying run. Tony Armas is coming up to bat for Bruce Hurst against the sinker baller Roger McDowell. And Roger will now be in 5 of the 7 games. He has no decision, an earned run average of 2.8. So Tony Armas will hit for Bruce Hurst. John McNamara hoping that Armas can do what Mazzilli did and light a fire leading off.
Then I just got word they put up the score at the Meadowlands where the Giants and Redskins are playing, and when they put up 3-3, the entire crowd started screaming, "Let's go Mets!" I wonder what the football players were thinking.
Bruce Hurst, number 20,
Tony Armas missed 31 games during the year with ankle and thigh injuries. But of course, you remember he injured himself in Anaheim, and it actually helped the Red Sox win the pennant because Dave Henderson took over and performed some magic. And that got a little bit of John Kibler. Took a bite out of him. 0-1. The plate umpire, okay, but that hammered him.
They really are playing Armas to pull. Knight is guarding the line, or Santana's in the hole, and Mitchell is towards the line in left field. There you see it. They're really expecting to hit that ground ball. Look at Knight.
When you look at Tony Armas, 2 years ago he led the majors in RBIs. This year he was 8th on the Red Sox. Big chopper, foul ball. Well, they didn't think they could regroup and come up with another dandy after Saturday night, but there is Calvin Schiraldi, and we're 3-3 in the 7th inning. Armas followed by Boggs and then Barrett. Sinker got him.
McDowell just rears back and throws his best pitch, which is the sinker. It starts at about the knees, tough to lay off, and when you try to chase it, it's out of the strike zone. But with 2 strikes, Armas was trying to get a piece of it.
Where's Boggs, who lined to short, hit one about at the ankles for a line drive base hit and a run batted in. Last time up, walk. Right. 3 runs, 6 hits for Boston. 3 runs, 4 hits for New York. Strike. Little chopper to third. Knight waits for the hop. Guns in the dirt. Dug out by Hernandez.
Knight has to wait for the big hop. He throws it low, but watch Hernandez. Not only is he digging out, he's in front of that ball. It was not going to get by him. That's a short hop, a tough play. A classic picture. If he misses it, it hits him in the leg. And now he says to the umpire, I caught it.
Here's Marty Barrett. Flied to right, bunted for a hit, flied to right again. A chopper over the mound. Here comes Santana. Got it. At the end of 6 1/2, all even at 3. With the crowd screaming, take me out to the ball game. A brief moment in the Mets dugout. Hernandez and Carter. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. 3-3. Oh, is it wild here? Oh.
That's the way it should be. Two clubs battling down the line. It's the 7th game of the World Series. Going into the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. The 9 toughest outs in baseball, and everybody up on their feet.
Calvin Schiraldi, the former Met, coming in to try and stifle the Mets. Bottom of the 7th inning. On deck, among others, as you see, Orozco. Knight will lead off, but Mitchell is going to give way to Lenny Dykstra. So it's going to be Knight, Dykstra, and Santana. And remember, Backman is in the game, having run for Tuffle. Ray Knight singled and grounded out. He is 1 for 2. You know, we have seen Calvin Schiraldi in so many pressure-packed moments in the League Championship Series with the Angels and in the Red Sox. You might forget his first ever Major League save was in August. I mean, he's just starting. 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck, Len Dykstra. Ball 2, and the chant, Calvin, Calvin. This one is gone. It is 4-3 New York in the 7th, and Len Dykstra the batter for Kevin Mitchell. The first home run at home hit in this World Series by the home team.
And you hear so much about concentration. Ray Knight was quoted as saying he was once told that concentration is the ability to think about nothing. So he certainly was up there loose and really ripped a high fastball.
Ball 3, and Sambito and Stanley are throwing in the Red Sox bullpen. Strike. Boy, I tell you, the last two will kill you.
Dykstra really tried to get down lower than normal to try to get that base on balls.
3-1. Line drive, base hit to right field. Here's another look of Ray Knight's home run launched over the wall in left center.
It looked like it was a belt-high fastball. And Schiraldi, the minute it was touched off, knew it, and there's his reaction. And watch Knight coming around. And what a welcoming party he had.
It is so noisy at Shea, you can't hear the airplanes. You think you're out in the country. And Bill Fisher is out to the mound.
And I tell you, with all this and Dykstra on at first base, don't be surprised if he takes off on the very first pitch to keep it going.
By the way, as Johnny McNamara looks at the lineup cards, when the Red Sox come up in the 8th inning, they will have Bill Buckner, Jim Rice, and Dwight Evans. Rafael Santana, the batter, and he'll be fouled by Roger McDowell. And Boggs looking bunt on the grass.
I think I'd pitch out just to stop everything, but you have to worry about Schiraldi's control.
Ball 1.
They must have heard this crowd at the Meadowlands, Vin. They tell me when they put the score up there, the noise was so great that the players, they had to stop the play.
I can believe that. 1 ball and no strikes. Dykstra at first. The Mets are 2 for 2 with pinch hits by Mazzilli and Dykstra in the 6th and now 7th inning. A better throw might have gotten him. He was far off the bag.
Oh, he wants to go. He wants to keep it going. The merry-go-round is on full speed, and he wants to make it go faster.
Santana has not been called upon to bunt with the pitcher following very often. He has only 1 sacrifice. And again, Dykstra taking liberties. That's about as big a lead as the law allows.
He's right about at the beginning of the straight line as far as the grass. It's cut at an angle to give the first baseman more dirt, but right at the start of where it's a straight line, right about there is where he is. That's a long way out there.
1 ball, no strikes. Dykstra not going on a pitch out, and it's a wild pitch. Dykstra to second base.
Gedman gets out there, but I mean, he is way off the target with the pitch out. It's a play you practice, and there is Bruce Harris looking on. And now Gedman going out to talk to his pitcher. He's going to have to settle him down because, I mean, the wheels have come off.
And of course, John McNamara can think of the hit batter involving Brian Downing. The wild pitch Saturday night. The wild pitch tonight. 2-0 to Rafael Santana. Dykstra at second and nobody out. Punched inside first and down the line. Dykstra will score on a single by Santana.
some manufacturing run to the extent that Santana was going to at least get the ground ball to the right side. Schiraldi jammed him with the fastball, but trying to hit it to the right side. He gets the base hit, and of course Dykstra, looking like he was going to steal, gets the pitch out wild pitch in scoring position, and they still have it going.
So it is 5-3 Mets. And here is McDowell a strike. Calvin Schiraldi has faced 3 batters. He has given up a home run and 2 singles, a wild pitch, and 2 runs. And the Mets have jumped out in front.
McDowell not sure of the signs from Harrelson.
0-1. Bunt. Foul ball. We mentioned it earlier. With these two, you never know. Counting the League Championship Series and the World Series, the Mets have come from behind 44 times. That includes tonight. 44. But on the other side of the diamond, you have a ball club that won 19 times in its last at-bat, including the playoffs, the Boston Red Sox. Ball 1. And Boston must be thinking, remember the 10th inning. Saturday night, we were leading 5-3. Now it's 5-3 New York, bottom of the 7th. The bunt to Buckner. No play at second, the out at first. I thought he had a play at second.
I thought he had a play. He looked, and all of a sudden decided not to go to second base. In fact, Barrett had snuck in behind first base, so he was well protected. In fact, I thought there was a play on, and you can watch it. Now, Buckner, I think, gets it in plenty of time. He's got a play right there. Santana really still had a play after double pumping, but he took the sure out.
I don't know whether the grass was wet and slick. He didn't have a grip or what, but Calvin Schiraldi has lost his grip, and he's gone. It is 5-3 Mets in the 7th, 1 out. We'll be back. Bob Stanley on the outside looking in, watching Joe Sambito walk Mookie Wilson intentionally with Wally Backman, the switch hitter, coming up. What an awesome moment here, especially if you are a visitor, to hear 50,000 people in unison chanting and singing, we will rock you. And they are rocking Shea. Wally Backman has not been much of a hitter right-handed. That's why he didn't start against Bruce Hurst. But he's hitting right-handed against Sambito with Hernandez on deck. Santana at second, Wilson at first, 1 out, 5-3 Mets in the 7th inning. Way outside, great save by Rich Gedman, or you have runners at second and third.
Looked like a case of just overthrowing the ball. Gedman ready for anything, and he gets out there, makes a play much like a first baseman.
So 2 former Mets. First Calvin Schiraldi, now Joe Sambito on the griddle. Ball 2. Ball 3. strike.
Got to believe he's taking this one too. They want to get Hernandez up there.
In the inning, Knight homered, Dykstra single, took second on a wild pitch. Santana singled him in. McDowell sacrificed, and Wilson was walked intentionally. 3-1 to Backman. On the corner.
Just taken all away, and that's the way they play, and that's the way they should, with Hernandez coming up next.
Santana and Wilson checking with Buddy Harrelson to see if they'll play run and hit.
I would hold him.
One out, and Backman asking for time. Backman, who is not effective as a right-hand hitter. So if he strikes out, you'd run out of the inning and you take the bat out of Hernandez's hand. So we'll see.
He's a tough man to double up.
3-2. Runners will hold. Fouled away. 5 runs, 7 hits for the Mets, including the home run by Ray Knight. 3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Red Sox, who had back-to-back home runs by Evans and Gedman back in the 2nd inning. But since those back-to-back home runs in the 2nd inning, the Red Sox have had just 1 hit after the 2nd inning. They have stopped completely, thanks to Sid Fernandez.
He's the one that gave them that thing called momentum.
3-2. Runners hold. Ball 4.
First baseman, Hernandez.
It was Hernandez who was 0 for 2 when he came to the plate in the 6th inning. And with the bases loaded, single to left center to drive in 2. Bob Stanley is probably getting ready to pitch to Gary Carter.
Hernandez tries to hang in against that left-hander and take him to the opposite field. He was able to do that to Hurst, and now he's facing another left-hander, Zambito.
Santana at 3rd, Wilson at 2nd, Backman at 1st. 1 out, 2 in